The attendee list seems to have leveled off. I'll turn this over to Jeff Walzak. As always, if you have any questions, please put them into the chat or the Q&A. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Ken. As we always tell everybody every week, thank you for spending some of your time with us today. And that eTruck Biz is not endorsed, sponsored, or anything else by FedEx. And we've been telling you for the last several weeks now that it is true. Anyone that's anybody that doesn't want to get forced into moving over to Ground Cloud, we have an alternative for you. You want to look into Motive, where you can get free, no upfront cost AI Veeder cameras, and Motive's a way better product anyway. And then, of course, Impact Solutions. You can get no initial course fee for safety training, train the trainer training for certification. I forgot it again. Certification,
Qualification.
qualification training. Thank you, Becca. And hopefully, maybe soon, maybe there will be a few meetings scheduled or classes, opportunities to do this in different parts of the country.
Thank you. Yep. I just want to start by asking, are you a FedEx service provider looking to maximize your profitability and streamline your operations? You can unlock the full potential of your FedEx operation with a complimentary business performance and optimization review. This is basically going to build a profitability blueprint. We would start with a SWOT analysis so we can identify any strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, or threats to your business. And then we move on to create a standard budget for you. This is to see where your business is currently at based on FedEx assumptions. And then from there, we will create an expense plan. This is what you're actually spending, and this is to allow us to create achievable goals so that you can see results within your business. But a business blueprint is only valuable if you have the tools to execute your vision successfully. So this is where the business support system comes into play. We have 3 different programs within the business support system tailored to fit your needs. We have the Budget IQ program. This is going to focus on financial planning and tracking. The Performance IQ program is more for the operational monitoring and guidance. And then we also have Admin IQ. So this is going to be all of those non-revenue producing tasks that take all of your time up. We will take care of that for you. All 3 programs do include our software system. That's the routing, the Optics app, and so much more on top of that. But if you're interested in learning more about any of these programs or want to have a free session, please get a hold of me, Becca@etruckbiz.com. I would be happy to get this scheduled for you. And there's also our website right there that you can go to for any more information on that.
All right. Thank you, Becca. And just for fun, Ken is on location. Where are you, Ken?
Beautiful, rainy Panama City, Florida.
Rainy down there at the beach at this point.
I made it to the beach last night.
We always talk about these programs, Performance IQ, Admin IQ, and you're doing something along the lines of Performance IQ, are you not?
That is correct.
Can you just give us a real quick?
Yeah, what we're doing here, we've got a situation where BC gave notice, and so we've an interim BC. This is an experienced BC out of a very efficient operation that is going to come in, train the new BC that we will hopefully be hiring in the next couple of days, as we're on site doing interviews for that as well. Also learning the operation themselves, because every operation does have some intricacies as well. This would be a Network 2.0 facility. So we've got a couple of days under our belt learning the Network 2.0 processes. And then the interim BC will run the operation once the existing BC leaves, and then train the new BC that we'll be hiring, as I said, hopefully this week.
A little, if there's BC trouble, you can help, or Performance IQ can help, right?
That is correct. New process, but after 2.5 days, I feel pretty comfortable.
Good. All right. First of all, let's look at the volume, as we always do every week. And it looks like the pickup stops are dropping back to the trend line. But you know what? The packages are hanging in there. So that's very interesting. It's That's a good thing. Delivery volume, though, is now it's starting to bump on the trend line. Now, the good news is the trend line has a slight positive slope to it, but that's good. And there's look at that productivity, up 2%, up over 100. How about that?
Over 100 always makes me smile.
That's a good thing. You know what's better than 100, Ken?
101.
101 is better than 100. That's good. But anyway, that's really good. Beating that trend there. That's good. All right. There is some news, and no one knew this, but last night, UPS settles Teamster grievances, averts strike in multiple states. The union representing some 340,000 workers at UPS said shortly after midnight Tuesday that it called off a strike at the Global Air Sortation Hub in Louisville, Kentucky, and package terminals in 6 other states after the company agreed to resolve several outstanding grievances and local contract disputes. Oh, who knew? The resolution, however, did little to resolve the testy relations as the Teamsters remain upset for offering drivers a buyout package to reduce labor costs, not hiring the promised number of full-time employees, and allegedly not complying with a commitment to purchase more package vans equipped with air conditioning. UPS is in the process of streamlining its delivery network to align with lower parcel volumes, especially as it moves to an unload 50%. We've been talking about that. 50% of its business with Amazon and trying to cut 20,000 jobs. Wait a minute. At the contract negotiations, they said they were going to hire 20,000 folks. Whoops. We're going to cut 20,000 folks. No air conditioning in the trucks. I thought air conditioning on full blast was the door being open. Ken, is that how that goes?
I'm absolutely positive that's how it goes.
But they told them they were going to purchase 28,000 package cars, as they call them, with or at least put air conditioning in 28,000 of them. And then the union's saying, whoops, 10%. That's it. The Teamsters claimed in a news release that they were prepared to set up strike lines Tuesday morning, today, at the Worldport, which is Louisville, Kentucky, across the Chicago area, in California, it's Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Ohio. And for those of you Ohio, Toledo people on there, that's Toledo Local 20. There was something going on there too before the last minute settlement. Now there's something else going on over there at the two-headed horse. The Teamsters say that UPS is violating the agreed upon 9.5-hour daily rule, 9.5 hours. By having some folks work more than 9.5 hours, UPS is having to pay penalty wages when this happens. Your friendly UPS driver, most of them, not all of them, most of them are scheduled to work how many hours?
At least eight.
At least 8, on up to 9.5.
9.5. And if they work them more than 9.5, 2 days in a row, they have the ability, they have the right to file a grievance.
Which is that, but let's say your trucks are on road 5-6 hours a day, which guess what? We see that sometimes, a lot of times, for those folks that say, I can't make any money and it's FedEx's fault. Maybe it is FedEx's fault. But if our trucks are on the road 5 hours and our friends over in the brown trucks or that same truck is on the road 10 hours, what do you think that means?
They're producing double the amount of revenue.
Out of the same truck, how is that possible? Ken?
Yep. Same revenue per stop, same revenue per package, on the road twice as long. It will produce twice as much revenue.
So that cost of that resource as a percent of the revenue generates way down there. That's how they do it, folks. Speaking of all of that, there is a hidden cost. Let's discuss the hidden cost of high driver turnover. As we know, high driver turnover is a major challenge for service providers. There are the visible costs of turnover like recruiting, training, driver onboarding, Those are the things we think about when there's turnover, but but that's just the tip of the iceberg. There may be hidden costs that silently chip away at your profits. These hidden costs can have a significant impact on your bottom line. It's important to understand and address the full scope of these costs and the driver turnover problem. Beyond the obvious expenses, there are costs like poor driver performance or a new person not working a full day that get overlooked. Even though they are not easily seen, they can and often do cost more than the obvious costs. It's the hidden underlying costs that can really crush your profitability if not addressed. We'll emphasize how important it is to look beyond just the surface level expenses and really dig into the potential drains on your bottom line. The ripple effect on operational efficiency of driver turnover. Our research shows that new drivers complete 20 to 30% fewer stops per dispatch compared to experienced drivers. For example, when veterans might do 120 stops in a particular dispatch, new hires often struggle to reach 90. Now that happens all the time, right? But that's one of the reasons you don't want to have driver turnover, because the new folk, it's going to take the new person a while to get up to speed. This is due to their unfamiliarity with delivery locations, not knowing customer preferences, and not taking the optimal navigation paths. The extended route completion times might lead to overtime costs, and then there is the need for additional vehicles to handle what the newbies can't. New drivers have significantly higher accident rates compared to experienced drivers, up to 60% higher in the first 6 months. This leads to increased maintenance costs for vehicles operated by new drivers, up to 25% higher on average in the first year. Each accident results in short-term expenses like repairs and long-term expenses like liability insurance payments and loss of your safety operating incentive. A single at-fault accident may cost many thousands more, not just in the direct cost of that accident, but the lost productivity and everything else that happens. And if you have to get rid of that driver, same thing, we're back building up more costs. New drivers cause accelerated wear on vehicles through poor driving habits like harsh braking and improper handling. The higher risks and costs associated with new drivers is an important factor to consider when managing a fleet or transportation operations. Turnover means new drivers usually hit your metal status as well. Service quality metrics like customer satisfaction, delivery exceptions, missed pickups, and on-time delivery percentages, especially time definite, for those of you that are in 2.0 stations, often suffer when new drivers struggle to maintain standards.
Hey,
So
Jeff,
yes.
picture proof of delivery. I was down in Huntsville last week, and went out and followed a driver around. And unfortunately, package sitting beside the mailbox or put in the mailbox is not acceptable. And that, again, is going to hit your metals because it's going to hit your picture proof of delivery. Get out there, follow your drivers around, see what they're doing. The worst thing you can do is just assume that everything's good. Everywhere we go, we find somebody doing something wrong. We don't want to, but we do.
Here's a good one, Bob. Did your picture proof of delivery match whatever the driver did?
You know what? That's a good question.
I really don't think that driver took a
one.
picture. I don't think that driver took a picture of that chewy box leaning up against the mailbox when it would have only been 30 feet more to the door.
But that is a tool we are using to see the improvements of the driver moving forward. We're going to be hawking his PPODs and see how they look.
Yeah.
Because if they're taken correctly, then yes, he's doing it the right way now. And he should be at, 99% or whatever it is.
And some of it's a training issue. We had a situation down here where for some reason the driver thought he needed to take a picture of the label, not of where the package was left. And that seriously, he did it on like 26 stops. So that ruined their picture compliance for the month.
And the only way you know that is what?
If you get out and follow, or in the eTruck Biz system, you can actually do driver release audits from the boss dashboard for all of your residential driver release time definite stops.
All right. So the path to sustainable operations is built on three key pillars: performance tracking, streamlined administration, and financial visibility. So Performance IQ allows service providers to provide drivers with needed feedback. That's exactly what we're talking about here. Everyone wants to know that their efforts are being appreciated. Yes, that includes drivers. This program provides you with what you need to provide feedback. So Bob was driving around watching what a driver is actually doing, right? That's what this is all about. What's the driver really doing? Now we were able to provide feedback, and hopefully no more Chewy boxes up against the mail pole or whatever it was. Admin IQ simplifies payroll and HR processes, which gives drivers the sense that they are in a stable situation and that leaving you, if they want to quit, might not be a good thing to do since you run a stable operation, right? What's the saying? People don't quit their job, people quit their boss. Is that right, Ken?
Yeah, absolutely. They quit their manager.
Budget IQ provides real-time visibility into cost per dispatch, helping you make sure you can make payroll, along with all the other additional financial obligations. If you can't pay them, guess what's going to happen? You're going to lose them. Now, what's the biggest fear of a BC or AO? Losing drivers. By leveraging these advanced analytics and streamlined systems, we can build a sustainable operation that keeps your drivers engaged and employed by you.
Now, Jeff, what if, this guy does everything right, but he only wants to work 6 hours a day?
What if your guy does? That's what it is.
Yeah.
Then I think you make them part-time and offer them 4 hours a day.
And pay him by the hour. And if that driver is going to do 25 stops per hour for 4 hours and you're paying him by the hour, financially, it'll make sense. So that's
And if that doesn't work, then I think you offer their services to the industry.
exactly. So
Maybe give them to your contractor buddy across the belt, who he'll pick them up.
yeah.
I'm sure that guy will start working 9 hours for that guy.
Yeah, so that yes, there is a cost to turnover, but yes, there is also positive turnover that you can recoup those costs. So you really want turnover to be on your terms. Right now, there are no questions, but I do stress the training of drivers, setting when you are hiring, setting the expectations. I mean, I've sat in some training situations, and boy, I've heard, well, you're expected to be out 4 or 5 hours a day, and you have a breakdown, and now you're out 8 or 9 hours a day. That's a bad day. If you're setting expectations that a full-time driver is only going to be on the road 4 to 5 hours a day, guess what's going to happen when you tell them they got to work 8 hours a day?
Or they can go to UPS and work 9.5.
Yeah. And they get to file a grievance after 2 days if they do that. So that'll make the world better. But so please, throughout the whole process, make sure your BCs are conveying that. This wasn't an owner conveying that. It was just somebody I overheard in an interview. So, and I think they're trying to be right by saying you have good days and bad days, but never set the expectation, unless it's a part-timer, that they're going to work 4 or 5 hours a day. Never set the expectation. If you go out and get the job done and you're done in 5 hours, I don't care. Once again, now you're underutilizing that asset. If that truck's only on the road 5 hours and UPS is on the road 10, once again, you're going to generate half the revenue that a UPS driver generates. And more than likely, that driver can't do enough stops per hour to generate enough revenue for you to cover everything with that truck if they're only on the road 5 hours. So set the expectations early in the hiring process, train them properly. There's a lot of very good drivers out there that probably work too hard. They're fighting packages in the back of that cab. They're walking all the way to the back of that cab to that truck to go all in section 7 to come all the way back up out the side door to make a delivery. When you're utilizing the anchors, the dynamic anchors, that will help reduce it. But at the same time, drivers need to use some common sense because sometimes stops are closer than what they think, and your driver might go out of order a little bit, but in general, if they're following that truck the way it's loaded, it's going to reduce their walking. They're going to be more efficient, and it's going to be easier on their bodies. So do those things for your driver. Pat them on the back when they do well. I mean, I've seen some phenomenal performances from some of our customers averaging 145 stops for the business with 2 or 3 drivers every day going over 200 stops per dispatch. So they've got to be doing something right. And those people that are doing the 200 and 230 stops, guess what? That truck's on the road 8 hours. I don't see anybody on the road 5 hours doing 200 stops. So I know there's challenges with the size of the boxes and getting, if I average 2 pieces per stop and I got to hit 150 stops on that route, yeah, it's 300 packages that got to go on the truck. So it does require loading properly, which is your driver probably involved with that. And then once again, delivering in the truck in the order that it's loaded will give you the ability to put more packages on that truck. Bob, anything to add with that about dynamic anchors?
It'll just even out your bulk too. Even out the bulk. That way you don't have one truck bulking out one day, another day. And 2, there's been times where drivers actually they end up with more stops, but it doesn't look like as much because it's evened out the bulk. So utilize them. They work.
Yeah, excellent. So still no questions. We appreciate you being here today. We will be back here again next Tuesday with some more hot topics. I don't know if it gets any more hot than UPS almost going on strike last night. So, but we will definitely have some more topics next week. And if we don't talk to you before then, please have a safe and profitable week. Thank you very much.